and I said, I don't think, Nigel Farage has what it takes. Or rather, I said he's not strong enough to be. I said he's a good speaker and he speaks sense, but I don't think he's strong enough for the task at hand, particularly because he hadn't done anything about these three major issues: the gang rape gangs, the 3,000 prisoners, political prisoners, which they are, and Tommy Robinson, who's a political prisoner. And in fact, he sort of washed his hands of Tommy Robinson. So from my point of view, he was done. He was finished. And then a few days later, Elon said he does not see. He made a blank statement. He said Farage is no good. He didn't say he's not strong enough. He just says he's out. So as far as what's happened since then, I have noticed from watching things that Nigel Farage has come out a little stronger on the inquiry into the rape gangs. He hasn't mentioned a word about the 3,000 decent, ordinary people. I don't care what people say to me about that, who are sitting in prison now for objecting to their communities being ruined. And then Tommy Robinson, he hasn't said a word about that. So I can't see how Elon is going to say to him, well, now I see you doing a little bit more. But I see a little bit more from Farage's point of view. But I know my son, and he's got this sort of thing about things. He likes to think that he made a decision and he's stuck by it. He's not the sort of person who likes to be, told, well, you decided this then, and then you decided that later. Now, most of us are open to reason. So hopefully, maybe Elon is open to a bit of reason from Farage. But personally, I still don't think Farage is right. I still don't think he's right. If he was right, he would offer a hand of friendship to Tommy Robinson, who's nothing more than a political prisoner.
Well,
and not somebody, and he didn't go to Eton. So because he didn't go to Eton, like Andrew or something,
he doesn't have a posh voice like Andrew or Douglas Murray or Christopher Hitchens. Well, look, there is a big update on that. I want both of your reaction to that. It has now been confirmed by Tommy Robinson's team. Let's look at the post. It's just come in. We are grateful to Elon Musk and his team at X for agreeing to provide support to Tommy Robinson for two specific legal cases: prison treatment and human rights violation, and the terrorism case. So confirmation there now, Errol, that actually your son is financially backing Tommy Robinson, further cementing the relationship, and I guess moving him away even further from where he is at in terms of Farage.
Yes. No, that makes sense to me. I haven't heard anything about that. I mean, that's just the next logical step. I mean, to any thinking person, if you look at history, I mean, I've said this on the TV. I mean, if you look at history through the years, through hundreds of years, thousands of years, you often find that people who eventually rise were at some point jailed by the opposition on sort of spurious sort of reasons, So we have that here with Tommy Robinson. He hasn't done anything that warrants him being placed in confinement, solitary confinement for 18 months. I mean, they've just left off the lashes. The lashes would have been the next, 100 lashes and 18 months in solitary confinement. They seem to leave the lashes off.
Thank God. But the solitary confinement is bad enough, as you say. Andrew Eborn, your view on Musk furthering involving himself with Tommy Robinson?
Yes, and I think it's not a surprise. Elon's been very public in terms of his postings. The point that Errol made on the show we do together is that Elon would have discussed this with President Trump before distancing himself from Nigel to that extent.
Interesting.
Yes, that's also true. It's a very good point.